Today we are in Dayton, Ohio, and we speak with Annamarie Šliužas. Even though her family has immigrated to America more than 100 years ago, a century after their immigration to America, they opened this Lithuanian restaurant here. It's called Amber Rose. Amber Rose is adapted from their Lithuanian surname, Žemaitis, then Ambrose, and then Amber Rose. How did they decide to start this Lithuanian restaurant in Dayton, Ohio, 100 years or so after they immigrated here?
So my mother and my family have been very involved in our Lithuanian church for over 100 years. And mother always loved cooking and would cook for church events and then family weddings and friends' weddings. And when she retired from advertising, she and her friend Judy Petrokas opened the Amber Rose in 1990. And she just wanted to share her culture with the rest of the town. My great-grandfather on my mother's side immigrated to America in 1897 and was one of the 5 founders of Holy Cross Lithuanian Roman Catholic Church. He brought over his wife, Elena Mikalauskas, and they settled here. His youngest son, Pranas, married my grandmother, who immigrated from Lithuania, Onutė Reipa, in 1912. And she married Pranas, and they had 5 children. My father's side, Šliužas or Šliužinas and Grinčas, Maria Grinčas, Patras Šliužinas, Maria Grinčas, came back and forth from Lithuania beginning in 1912. And I'm not sure exactly when they took citizenship, but they went back and forth to Lithuania to try and get his father to come here. And I think they were also not sure if they wanted to leave Lithuania. So my family has been here over 100 years.
I was interested to hear that you are 100% Lithuanian from both sides, and it's very rare for us to meet like 100% Lithuanians from the first wave, or they are very old at this time already. You have visited Lithuania yourself some 20 years ago. So how did you feel there, and how do you feel here in America?
So I am 100% Lithuanian. My father and my mother met through Holy Cross Church. There were a lot of other couples that married, but then others did marry Americans. I participated in Lithuanian school as a child. We always had junior vice groups and dance group. We danced at the International Festival in Dayton, and I've always been Lithuanian, but I always felt like I wasn't quite fitting into American culture. But then sometimes I didn't feel like I fit into Lithuanian American culture in other communities. 2002, we were blessed to go to Lietuva. My mom, her brother, her sister, myself, and my son. And I finally felt like I belonged. It felt like home, and I knew where both sides of my family were from. And it was a blessing to see the Baltic Sea, to see the towns where my families came from, to eat the food, and just to experience the beautiful country of Lithuania. It was a blessing.
So speaking about the food, in the restaurant menu there are various Lithuanian dishes and also other Central European dishes, and among Lithuanian dishes is balandėliai, but it seems to be different from the one in Lithuania. And something that got us most interested is the Lithuanian turtle soup. At first, when we visited here Dayton 4 years ago, we were very interested to learn that local Lithuanians see it as a Lithuanian dish. We are thinking maybe it is available in other Lithuanian communities in America, but we never discovered that anywhere else. So it seems it's an authentic Dayton Lithuanian recipe. What are these foods like? What could you tell about them?
I was shocked to find out that turtle soup is not Lithuanian. My entire life we've been talking about Lithuanian turtle soup and serving it at church picnics and having it at family functions. And I was surprised there's no turtle soup in Lietuva, so that was a surprise. We wonder now, maybe was it because people were so poor when they came here that they could afford turtle soup to eat, and then all of a sudden it became a Lithuanian dish. As you know, we like to take ownership of things. The balandėlė is a tomato-based, and I was shocked to find out that it was different in Lietuva. This was always a tomato-based dish here for us. In other Lithuanian communities that I've traveled to in the United States was tomato-based, so that was different. Now also what's different, this restaurant is not owned by a Lithuanian anymore. So back when Mom owned it, I made koldūnai, but we call it virtinai. And we serve koldūnai here at the restaurant, which I was proud to make, but I did not know it was koldūnai because my entire life was virtinai. So just some differences. And then kugelis, of course, was served here when Mom was here, but unfortunately not here because they're not willing to hand grate the potatoes.
Well, actually, I probably wouldn't say that turtle soup is not a Lithuanian. It's like Dayton Lithuanian because, as you know, many famous, world-famous Chinese dishes have been actually invented in America, and some of the Mexican cuisine dishes have been invented in the United States of America, and let's say some of the kebabs have been invented actually in Germany by the Turkish community there, and so on. So it is interesting to see that the Dayton Lithuanian community has also not only brought something from Lithuania and not only accepted the local culture in America, but also invented something, and that it continues here with the impressive Holy Cross Church and also this Amber Rose restaurant, which even though is not Lithuanian owned anymore, it still includes the Lithuanian stained glass windows inspired by a Lithuanian song, and as well old Lithuanian images and so on. And very few cities in the United States of America actually have Lithuanian restaurants or restaurants serving any kind of Lithuanian food. So it was very interesting to be here, and all the Dayton Lithuanian sites, including the church, the Three Crosses Monument and Amber Rose restaurant, are included in our map of Lithuanian American heritage at map.trulithuania.com and Encyclopedia of Lithuanian Heritage Abroad at global.trulithuania.com. So I suggest you visiting these, and also subscribe to this YouTube channel to hear more interesting stories from Lithuanians and the next generations of Lithuanians and the next generations of Lithuanians that continue their lifestyle all over North America and beyond.
Išėjo tėvelis į mišką, išėjo motinėlė į mišką. Išėjo tėvelis, išėjo motinėlė, išėjo visi vaikai į mišką.